G'day guys, it's Mitch Lees again from Australasian SXS. It has been a year with the Polaris Ranger SP530 and I'm here to give you an update on everything that we've liked, that we'd like to see them change, and if anything has failed. So I'll address probably the one that everyone wants to hear, which is, has anything failed? And the reason I'll address that one first is that's a very easy answer. No, nothing has failed. We haven't had a single thing break on this Polaris Ranger SP530. We've used it in awfully wet, muddy conditions. We've almost drowned it. It's been through some pretty dry, rough, rocky conditions. We've got a little bit of dry spell through January and February. Typical that we sometimes get some rain, we sometimes don't. It was dry and dusty. Everything was fine. We just cleaned the air filter, did our oil changes, and nothing has broken. We haven't had a flat tire. We haven't had a buckled rim. None of the doors have broken. The mirrors are still in place. Nothing's rattled loose. Even the little glove boxes we've found with some of the side-by-sides in the past, some of those latches on the glove boxes will randomly come loose and fall out or break, and not a single latch has broken. There's literally nothing that has broken in a year, and getting used almost every day with this side-by-side. Probably helps that it's a very mechanical side-by-side. There's no power steering in this vehicle, and the tipper for the tray, for example, is still manual. So you're reducing your chance of having something electronic go wrong, but we've been blown away by how robust and how reliable this Polaris Ranger SP530 has been for an entire year. Now, moving on to the things that we've absolutely loved about it. The bench seat is a flatter bench seat than some of the more high-spec Rangers, so they sit like a bucket. They might be a little bit more comfortable for long hauls, getting from A to B, or big time in the saddle throughout the day. The flat seat has been really easy for us to get in and out of with kids, and when there's 2 or 3 people in the cab, because you can slide on and off the seat. In terms of things like the ground clearance, obviously this doesn't have as much ground clearance as our Polaris Ranger XP1000, and that has caught us up a few times. We've whacked and banged into some rocks and logs, but realistically at the end of the day, it hasn't broken anything on the undercarriage. So there is a little bit of protection in there, you can see with that front bar, but despite it having less clearance than the XP1000, it still hasn't broken anything underneath, and we haven't been caught up so bad that we've been stuck and we've had to get out and push and shove to get it off something that's bellied out on. Suspension has been impressive. We had a Polaris Expedition Adventure, and that thing had some really impressive, expensive suspension, and we could just fly through the paddocks, hit it whatever we wanted, and you didn't feel it. But that's about 3 times the price of this vehicle. So you've got to understand the spec of this suspension is not designed to compete with the $40,000, $50,000 side-by-sides. We were really impressed for a side-by-side that comes in under $20,000 to have suspension like this that's been as comfortable, and also that would articulate with the side-by-side as well as it does, because we've never rolled it. We've never got it stuck, caught up on 3 wheels, and we've also never rearranged our spine hitting rocks and logs through the paddock. It's absorbed pretty much everything we wanted, and it's never failed us. So as for the motor and the belts and the drive system and everything that's on this side-by-side, we haven't replaced any of it. A lot of people complain about clutches going and bits and pieces. We haven't personally had any of those issues. We can't find a single fault with the motor. We don't mind the 530 capacity. The 530 has kind of suited where we go and what we do. Especially if you're looking to save a little bit of money, you can buy a smaller capacity engine, and we've found it goes pretty much everywhere the XP1000 has gone. So from a motor, reliability and performance perspective, expect 530 performance. It's not a 1000, but reliability has been excellent, and for a little capacity side-by-side, the performance is more than it should be. So the tub space in this Polaris Ranger SP530, it's pretty similar to most of the single cab side-by-sides out there. It actually holds a little bit more than most of them. It's the manual tipper. We've had no problem with the manual tipper. When you have a heavy load in there, say you bring back some timber, maybe you've got some bags of cement, it can get quite heavy. Fortunately, it articulates pretty well, but as for my size, I've been able to just lift it with 1 or 2 hands, regardless of what's in there. It's been able to tip out what it needs to and then pull it closed. But I don't know, maybe if you're someone who's not quite as strong, then you would probably need to look at getting one of those hydraulic buttons that sits in the cab to lift the tipper instead of doing it manually. But the size has been excellent. We like the high side walls. It's a pretty robust plastic kind of tub, so it's got scars and scratches on it, but nothing bad has gone wrong. And then if you come around here, the tailgate has been pretty solid, and as you can see, everything is still working pretty well. Even little things like on some of the cheaper side-by-sides we've tested, even when they're new, you go to do this, and it doesn't kind of lock in, and you've got to jam it. but that locks in perfectly fine. And that's after a year of having things pulled and pushed on it and a million dogs jumping in and out of it. It still works really well. All right, so that's a year with our Polaris Ranger SP530. It has been an awesome little agricultural machine for us. We've never had a 530 on the property, anything this small, but we have been blown away by the performance and the reliability. We're going to continue testing this thing. Stay tuned as we figure out if anything starts to fade or go and we need to replace it. Otherwise, it's been excellent. We can't think of anything that's really broken on it. And yeah, we look forward to probably putting a whole another year on it and seeing what it's like in another 12 months' time.